Thank you. Good morning to my fellow project members and the environmental members. In today's discussion with our environmental members, we will be discussing about the project development, and our project is environmentally friendly. We will first like to point out that the plastic we use for the construction to build for seals, profile, windows and door, pipes, cables, floor coverings and insulation are recycled plastic and not using any new plastic.
Okay, I would like to counter on your point. First of all, understanding recyclable plastic may sound good theoretically, but the plastic was never designed to be recycled in the first place. So, wanting to use plastic in construction might be a bad idea because would it be able to withstand the heat, especially in our country now? And also, with using plastic in construction might lead to danger, especially to others, whether the construction workers or the people who will be using or living in the building. Then next is recyclable plastics are most likely to be in lower quality as not as the first it was better. So now recyclable plastics are not efficient as only a small fraction of them are recyclable, as studies shown that only 3 out of 7 plastics are recyclable. Next is basically giving the wrong idea to the people where we should use more plastics in in where Malaysia now is the global leader on plastic manufacturing. At the same time, the time and energy is needed to separate each type of plastic. That's all for my point. And next, I would like to listen to the other points from the others. The audio.
Developer for me to provide internal lighting in a building without using electric lighting during the day. We design a building around day lighting so that the day natural light can provide lighting in a building and save energy. Day lighting is a type of lighting design of using the jet light are one of the source for lighting so that it can shine through window or other opening and reflecting surface to light out the internal of the building.
Okay, I would like to counter that. The daylight is not consistent because it depends on the weather on the day. Imagine we have an important meeting on the day and it's raining, so we don't have enough lighting to do the meeting. The second point, the constant exposure to the sun powerful UV ray is bound to cause fading, discolor, and damage to materials such as wood, leather, and textile over time. Imagine a wooden table placed next to the bright sunny window. In that position, it will catch the full force of the sun ray and it will lower the integrity of the table. Other than that, ultraviolet UV radiation is a form of electromagnetic radiation that comes from the sun. This ray can cause skin cell to age and cause some indirect damage cell DNA. UAV ray are mainly linked to long-term skin damage such as wrinkles, but they also thought to play a role in some skin cancer.
Moreover, we will develop wind energy as an environmentally friendly developer by constructing wind turbines to generate electricity. Wind-generated electricity has become either competitive with or less price than coal-generated electricity in the 21st century and in many areas. Wind turbines are a wonderful alternative for electricity generation because of their low cost and minimal land footprint. Other land uses such as farming, conservation, and recreation can happen simultaneously with wind power generation. Wind energy could significantly improve or replace entire grid systems as the cost of wind power technologies continues to fall and energy storage and transmission infrastructure improves.
I would like to add on to the wind energy part. While I agree that wind energy is one of the cleanest renewable energy in this era, however, wind energy can still have an environmental impact such as the potential to reduce or degrade habitat for wildlife, fish, and plants. And the spinning turbine blades may pose a threat to flying wildlife such as birds and bats. It is estimated that 150,000 to 300,000 birds deaths per year occur. And this is just in the US alone. This is sourced by the Fish and Wildlife Service. And lastly, there is a potential for this issue to delay or hinder wind development in high quality wind resources area in the long run.
Furthermore, we will be installing rainwater harvesting system while building to collect rainwater from roofs and then storing it in a tank. Rainwater harvesting is probably one of the best concepts that let us gainfully use natural rainwater, which would otherwise go waste. Especially in areas that are dense with concrete buildings, the rainwater that falls flows away and is lost forever. Apart from being used in the restrooms and for watering the garden, the harvested rainwater can be purified using simple techniques to make it safe enough to drink. The increasing population has resulted in increase of the use of water consumption, so rainwater harvesting pit is an ideal solution for such problems.
Okay, so depending on the system size and technology level, a rainwater harvesting system may cost anywhere between 1,500 to 10,000 ringgit, which is a lot of money, and benefit from it cannot be derived until it is ready for use. Rainwater harvesting systems require regular maintenance as they may get prone to rodents, mosquitoes, algae growth, insects, and lizards. They can become breeding grounds to many animals if they are not properly maintained. Pollutants found in rainwater runoff, for example, heavy metals, salts, and hydrocarbons, may decrease the productivity of or even kill certain plant species under high irrigation rates or long-term exposure from irrigation. Salinity in rainwater is a key concern for soil health. Sodium in harvested rainwater that is applied for irrigation can replace calcium and magnesium in soils. Over time, this process can negatively impact soil structure, making the soil less permeable and more erodible, particularly soils with high clay content. Use of rainwater can cause exposure to pathogenic microorganisms, which would make an impact on human health. Studies have consistently reported high concentration of fissure indicator microorganisms and contamination across different source areas of rainwater. That is all.
As an environmental friendly developer, we have to preserve nature from destruction by promoting the efficiency of energy, water, and other natural resources. We develop an area that uses solar panels to generate electricity. Solar panels are the leading source of renewable energy for houses. As solar energy relies entirely on gathering energy from the sun and converting it into electricity for the use in houses. Using it means that will not produce any greenhouse gases or contribute to global warming. Studies show that it can reduce the carbon footprint by 80% in 1 year. That's all. Electricity. Solar panels are the leading source of renewable energy for houses. As solar energy relies entirely on gathering energy from the sun and converting it into electricity for the use in houses. Using it means that will not produce any greenhouse gases or contribute to global warming. Studies show that it can reduce the carbon footprint by 80% in 1 year. That's all.
It is so it is undeniable that the sun provides a tremendous resource for generating clean and sustainable electricity without toxic pollution or global warming emissions. But the potential environmental impacts associated with solar panels are the use of hazardous materials in manufacturing. So this can vary greatly depending on the technology, which includes two broad categories: photovoltaic solar cells or concentrating solar thermal plants. So the PV cells manufacturing process includes a number of hazardous materials, most of which are used to clean and purify the semiconductor surface. And these chemicals, similar to those used in the general semiconductor industry, include hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrogen fluoride, and acetone. So workers face risks associated with inhaling silicon dust. manufacturers must follow laws to ensure that workers are not harmed by exposure to these chemicals and that manufacturing waste products are disposed of properly. Thin film PV cells contain a number of more toxic materials than those used in traditional silicon photovoltaic cells, including gallium arsenide, copper, indium, gallium diselenide, and cadmium telluride. So if not handled and disposed of properly, these materials could pose serious environmental or public health threats.
Okay. Next, we have also developed green space in an urban area isn't just about adding a touch of natural to the city space. Developing green spaces can be part of a larger design plan because of environmental sustainability benefit that they provide, such as urban advantages that help to regulating air qualities, reducing air temperature from too many paved surface, recharging groundwater supply, and protecting lakes and streams from pollution runoff. Next, water quality protection. The proper landscaping reduces nitrate leaching from the soil into the water supply and reduces water surface runoff and keeping phosphorus and other pollutants out of our waterways. Lastly, it also improves air qualities. The trees, shrubs, and turf remove smoke, dust, and other pollutants from the air.
Next, Eva.
Okay, so I'll be countering the urban green space idea. In my opinion, urban green spaces is a good idea, but for me, the process of doing this urban green space is what concerns me as an environmentalist. In order to build this park, another plain or undisturbed green spaces are needed to be destroyed. Well, anyone can say this is a blank space and no harm is done by clearing these spaces. By the way I see it as an environmentalist, this green space consists of habitats of animals. By destroying or clearing this area, we are disturbing the nature. Next, doing this urban green spaces are also not free. It utilizes a high budget to build this kind of park. Instead of using so much money to build the park, these funds can be used for saving animals from extinction. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Who's the next one?
I think it's Aguila class 2 environmental didn't come right. Go right.
But no one has counter his point, right?
No, he left. He left just now.
Okay, okay.
It's okay. Give you 10 seconds, then you start, right?
Lastly, we develop temperature regulating walls for building construction and the installation of solar panels. It will make the house to be more eco-friendly and also make the house cooler. The insulation on the wall improves the heat loss on the building. Besides that, solar panels are a sound investment for sustainable home improvement. By installing solar panels, the release of greenhouse gases can be reduced and the world can be led towards more eco-friendly. Thank you.
Using solar panels to generate electricity may sound like a good idea, but here's why it's not. Firstly, it is very, very expensive. Depending on what company you buy the solar panels from, it may cost you a kidney or even both. After you have installed the solar panels, now you need to pray that the sun stays out long enough to provide enough electricity. You need to remember that half the day it's nighttime, so you need as much sunlight as you could in the other half. Any cloudy weather at all may disrupt your electricity. And the second half of the year in Malaysia is always raining, especially in the northeastern part of Semenanjung, Malaysia. Finally, the production of solar panels involves certain hazardous chemicals. Some companies may not dispose these chemicals properly, which may cause major pollution in Mother Nature. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for everyone who joined the debate for today, and hope this debate will actually bring up good positive outcomes, and also from both sides, from developers and environmentalists. So thank you.